What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another watch party, the Sal's House Thursday Night Football watch party. Glad to be with you. Great to be with you. Got a big show planned for tonight. Can't wait to get to it. Buffalo Bills running back Ray Davis is going to join us right here on the watch party tonight. Really glad to have Ray in. We're going to have a lot of fun with him. Talked about his journey into the NFL, 3 different colleges he attended. Now, of course, having a nice rookie season with the Buffalo Bills. After Ray Davis, it's going to be longtime NFL reporter, legendary reporter, my friend Vic Carucci. Can't wait to talk to Vic. Vic is getting inducted into the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame in November. It's going to be awesome to see that. He's so well deserved. I'm on the Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame Advisory Committee. So is Vic. He actually had to leave the room when we discussed his candidacy, which was really cool. So we're going to have him. And then at the very end of the show, we're going to have Peter join us from TSC Buffalo to tell us all about the big show coming up November 1st and 2nd at Wings Meeting Place in Orchard Park. The big show for TSC. It's going to be absolutely spectacular. We're going to have Hall of Famers that are going to be there and current Buffalo Bills players, including Ray Davis. And I'm going to be there doing one of these, a Sal's House watch party. So we'll be doing all of that at TSC Buffalo November 1st and November 2nd. And I'm going to be giving away tickets to the Bills-Dolphins game that weekend. In the meantime, we got the watch party tonight. Let me tell you about our sponsors here real quickly. As always, you see them right there. Sports City Pizza Pub, 1407 Niagara Street. They got some great wings, great pizza. I was there last night for a Real Men Wear Pink event to support the fight against breast cancer. It was awesome to see so many of you who come by, who say hi. All the games, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, hockey, doesn't matter. It's a great spot to watch everything. So Sports City Pizza Pub on Niagara Street. And of course, Buffalogo for all your screen printing and embroidery needs. Buffalogo.com. Eric was there taking part. That's his company with him and his crew down there at Buffalogo. They do a great job. So many great shirts. We got a lot of things planned with Buffalogo. They got lots of great Buffalo gear, Bills shirts, everything that you could ask for. I'm wearing some golf polos this year from them. It's very cool. So I want to thank all of them for helping out here on the Sal's House Thursday Night Football watch party. 2 Thursday Night Football games we're watching tonight, actually. Number 1 is about to start. It is Vikings at Rams. Interesting game, but the Vikings had their first loss last week, and the Rams just not off to the kind of season and start they anticipated, but getting a little bit healthier. And the other one we're watching, I can't believe it. My Syracuse Orange are already down 17-0 against Pitt. Kyle McCord has thrown 2 pick sixes in the first quarter. It's ridiculous. So I have to watch this and feel like this right now already. I thought we'd be getting into it. In the meantime, cannot wait to get into it with our very first guest joining the program right now, Buffalo Bills running back Ray Davis, who joins me here on Sal's House Watch Party. Ray, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for joining me.
What's up, Sal? How you doing? I appreciate you for having me.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So let me ask you about your Thursday nights normally. Like, are you normally a watcher of Thursday night football? How do you consume it? What do you do?
Yeah, I kind of catch myself watching a little bit more college than NFL sometimes, just because a lot of old teammates or just kind of just
Yeah.
seeing guys a dream that they're pursuing, and it kind of was just like me last year. So sometimes I catch myself watching college, but this game tonight with the Rams and Vikings is going to be a game I gotta be able to watch.
Yeah, no doubt about it. What's the setup? Where do you watch it? You just hanging at the crib? You like to go out? What do you do? You hang out with some teammates?
Yeah. I spend my time at home. I'm watching it. I'm a living room guy, just kind of take it in. But sometimes if the boys want to go out to grab a bite, I'll definitely try to catch myself watching it out there too.
How do you think your rookie season's going for you so far, man?
It's been going good. I haven't reached my peak yet, so that's the good thing about it. I think I'm just getting there and understanding the ups and downs of the NFL. So I think that's the fun part about it. But it's been good so far, and it's not over yet. This is just the beginning. So I'm excited to see what comes ahead.
Yeah, as opposed to a lot of rookies who kind of, haven't played as much football as you. You've played a lot more football, and a lot of the rookies have come in. They say there's a rookie wall that, you're not used to these long grinds and seasons. Now it is different for you as well, but you're a little bit more seasoned. What's that like for you, kind of going through the grind of knowing, all right, we're only 7 games in, and yet we still have 10 more to go, basically.
I mean, one, it's the fun part of knowing there's a lot more football to go. I think when you look at college football, I think those guys are probably in week 7 potentially, some
Yeah.
around there, and you kind of know, as a senior, your season could potentially coming to an end when you're in college. But knowing in the NFL, again, it's just kind of getting started, and you think about playoffs and postseason and there, things about that. So It is long, and you definitely get hit with a rookie wall. But I think the exciting part is, now you got a lot of opportunities to showcase your skill set with all the games that you still got to play.
What do you think about Buffalo, man? I mean, the city itself, the people here, the fan base, everything that goes along with living in this city and town and playing for the team.
Man, I love Buffalo. I love the atmosphere. Obviously just being around my neighborhood with some really really good people, and kind of being around the city, just people embracing me, kind of see me around, just telling me how much they appreciate me being here. And I think being in a city like that where you're always going to be loved and appreciated, and it's definitely vice versa with us appreciating the fans and everything that they do for us. So you can't ask for nothing really better. But I'm still trying to figure out these wing spots. I haven't found none of them yet. So I think I'm still taking requests or
You got it.
some stuff here.
Well, we can do that. If you have any requests and suggestions for Ray for wing spots, you can just put them in the comment section here. Now, if you want to comment, you got to go either to the YouTube page or Facebook. You can watch right here on X, on Twitter. You can just watch, or you can just go to YouTube/Facebook. Either one. You can go to Sal Sports at either place, and you can do some suggestions. Give some suggestions right there for Ray Davis, Buffalo Bills running back here. All right, we have the game starting now. Vikings and Rams. This game is being played in LA. You guys, the Bills, play in SoFi a little bit later this year. Have you played out west much? I know you went to 3 different colleges that aren't out there. What's you are from out west? You're from San Francisco, but I mean, in college football, did you have any games out there?
No, unfortunately, I think the closest I ever had got was when we played at Colorado State in 2021. I was at Vandy, but no, this is going to be the best. This is the only chance I really got to play back at home. So it's definitely going to have that home feeling kind of vibe for me, even though we're in SoCal.
Any teammates you have playing tonight? Anybody on the Rams or Vikings that come to mind that you know about?
Yeah, a couple guys I trained with. Brennan Jackson, he plays for the Rams. He's DN, and obviously kind of knowing Blake Corum a little bit just throughout the college
Yeah.
days. And there's probably a couple other guys out there that I definitely know on both sides. I got to kind of meet Dallas Turner throughout the draft process. So, it's good to kind of see some guys just go out there and show their skill sets.
So speaking of guys, last week I had on this program Stevie Johnson. Stevie is
Mm,
from Cali, he's from San Francisco area,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's also a Kentucky guy like you. So he raved about you. Pretty cool. You are actually the first Buffalo Bill drafted from Kentucky since Stevie Johnson was drafted in '07, I believe.
Yeah, that's crazy. Stevie set the trend, man, from kind of being a Bay Area guy and then
Yeah.
being fortunate to be in the NFL. So, shout out to him. And, I definitely appreciate him just kind of showing me some love from, being a Kentucky guy. But, that's crazy. And you think about some of the Bay Area guys who've kind of been around him. You guys
Yeah.
had Marshawn Lynch years ago, and that's another guy he's from the Oakland area, but, he's a
Right.
Cali guy, and obviously Stevie and me. So, we trying to set the trend of Bay Area guys coming this way and enjoying the lifestyle a little bit.
So I know that you've been very open about your story and growing up in the foster care system. It's a lot of the reason that motivates you and a lot of the things you do for communities that you've been a part of. Tell us a little bit about that and what that was like for you and how that's helped you in your journey get to where you are and be motivated to do what you're doing today.
Yeah, for me, I grew up, in an environment where things weren't necessarily easy for me, and at a young age, I just had to, as I say, become a grown man and make some decisions that
Yeah.
no average 12-year-old or any age, necessarily at that time should make that decision. But I'm happy that I was able to be who I am today without any of those trials and tribulations, without any of those bumps in the road. I don't think I'd become the man I am today. I don't think I'd be able to be confident and just, using my platform to bring light and education to kids in the foster care system and the system itself. So just to be able to have that voice, that power, and, whether again, I reach out to one person, two, three, or 10. I just hope that, my story and when I look back at it, when it's all said and done, that I was able to be an impactful person, not just on the field, but, in the community and, really just in the world.
Awesome story, and I know that's why you're doing a lot of things in the Buffalo community. You're becoming a big part of it here as well, and helping out people. Justin Jefferson, just with a big catch. How good is that guy, man? He's amazing, isn't he?
Oh man, that guy's different. I mean, I got to watch a little bit of the receiver documentary on Netflix and just
Yeah.
seeing how he goes, man. I mean that's a real vet right there.
We'll keep you updated on that game. Ray, I want to put this on the screen here. This is your full name. Okay. I want everybody to see this. I want to say it the right way. Ramon Walter Zamar Jamar Davis. Did I say it the right way?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me how this full name came about.
I mean, it's funny because my dad name is Raymond, and everybody assumes that's kind of how you spell my name or say my name. So I've
Hmm.
always kind of wondered. But my mom was a beautiful beautiful person who always loved to kind of make up a lot of different names or put things together. When she made my name, it was something that I enjoyed and I loved, and she loved, and it was very close to my dad's name. But she didn't want to make me a junior, so I got to be able to be Raymond. I got to be different, and that's really what she wanted it to be, is for me to be different and for me to be able to stick out. And I love the name, and I love her for giving it to me.
All right, so let's go back to your high school days now and talk about getting recruited. What was that like for you? What was that process like for you?
High school was a very slow time just for me being in the East Coast and playing prep school ball. I didn't really get a lot of chances to visit colleges, being that prep school we play on Saturdays, the same day colleges play. So I never really got to take a lot of college visits, but just kind of being that small recruit in a small town, it really just forced me to put my head down and work even harder, putting my highlight tapes together, reaching out to coaches, emailing, trying to have coaches just stop by and see in my
Yeah.
school. I was fortunate to do a PG year at Blair Academy, and that's kind of when the ball kind of got started rolling. I got my first pair of couple offers, and then I ended up making my college decision. About fourth, fifth offer in.
All right, so we're gonna have some fun now. We're gonna go through these colleges here. I'm gonna show you some pictures. This is the first one.
Yeah,
Tell me about Ray Davis, the Temple version. Let's start with that one.
man. Ray Davis, I mean, that's the eager freshman. I was a true freshman. I got to play right away. I thought I was a big man on campus. When you hear your name constantly in Lincoln Financial Field, and you're being an impactful freshman. I broke out that year and had a freshman All American year, and in that game specifically, it was against our old coach,
Okay,
Geoff Collins. He just had left Temple to go to Georgia Tech, and we got to play Georgia Tech, and I think I ran for like 136 and two touchdowns.
I love it. All right, so now your next stop. Here we go. Tell me about Ray Davis,
Ooh.
the Vanderbilt version.
Ray Davis and Vanderbilt version was really I had to reemerge and bring myself back to life. I had to kind of reintroduce myself to the world and let them know that I was still the same guy in 2019 who was that freshman All American who could still have that ability to strike fear in his opponents. So going to Vandy was something I very much enjoyed because it was really betting on myself, and being in the SEC, as we know, that's the closest thing to the NFL.
Did you choose 20 or 2 in this case for any particular reason?
No, actually I was I was kind of voted to get number two that year. We're just kind of picking our numbers, and it was kind of the last one there, and two was just kind of one of those single digit numbers. So I went with that. And 20, I didn't get a choice.
Okay.
Freshmen, we don't get a choice.
Did you see? I'm sure you saw it. The Vanderbilt fans take the goalpost to the river. That was
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was cool. That's still my coach, my old coach, Coach Lee's there, and some of the
Yeah.
guys I play with. So just to be able to see that and that moment for a lot of those guys who worked hard for many years and battling a lot of adversity, to see them enjoy that moment was definitely, I was happy for them.
All right, so let's go to Ray Davis, the Kentucky version, number one.
That was that's when I just had to become LeBron. I had to really let the world know who I was, and I think LeBron said it a long time ago. About like just give me my respect, and I actually said it in a video on our media day, and I just said I want the world to respect me. And
Yeah.
that's the mindset I had going into that season was I want people to know I'm still that guy, and y'all gonna see it. So it was a special season, and shout out to my Kentucky boys. Shout out to my teammates just for even putting me in this position.
And then, of course, you get to the NFL. You play for the Buffalo Bills. What was that process like? Did you know the Bills kind of liked you? What was your pre-draft process like?
No, not really. I had a visit set up with them, and unfortunately, I got sick, and I couldn't make it. And at that point, I was really nervous just because I thought I had messed up my opportunity by getting sick, and I was like, God dang the flu. But, just kind of when I got the call, I was shocked, but I was so excited because I knew that being able to play with James after seeing him in 2021 when I was at Vandy, watching him personally. I just knew, okay, I could really, be a great duo with this guy and the way he runs.
Got a few more questions for you, then we'll let you go, Ray. I appreciate
Yeah,
you joining us here. And now I'll tell you, by the way, as I reintroduce our sponsors, Sports City Pizza Pub has great wings, 1407 Niagara Street. We got to get you there, man. They got great
yeah,
wings,
got
all
to.
different kinds. Thanks to them for being a part of it. Of course, Buffalo, buffalogo.com. We're at over 1,400 live viewers right now, Ray. People coming to watch you. They want to say hi to you. We got a lot of great comments coming in the comments section. All right, take me into the Bills running back room. What is Coach Kelly Skipper like?
Skip is one of those guys, man. Skip's an OG. He's been in the game for a while, and I mean, his whole family has. His brother's a head coach at Fresno State, and
Yeah.
his dad's coached some really good, great people. And I mean, even Skip's resume is insane if you look at the guys he's coached. So just to even be in a room with somebody who has that history and that type of knowledge and wisdom, but also the resume. Man, and just the person he is, yeah, he's like your favorite uncle at the cookout. That's
Yeah.
how I would describe Skip. He your favorite uncle at the cookout.
Yeah, and he's so like I love watching him and he really gets on the finer points, but covering the ball a certain way, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
The points of contact, things like that. I'm watching you guys go through the gauntlet drill. He's actually got the stick and he's whacking you
Mhm.
guys with the stick. So he's old school coach. You're right. He
Yeah.
likes to get down and dirty with you guys. What about your teammates? James Cook, you come in here. James Cook, obviously a really nice career in the SEC at Georgia and a fellow SEC guy like you. Now you get to share the backfield with him. What's it like?
For James, I have a lot of respect for James. James has been in the league for what 3 years now, and he's been
Mhm.
very dominant. He had a great season last year, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion. Him being able to run for 1,000 yards and be a Pro Bowler, so just to even kind of get some wisdom from him and knowledge from him, but also just watch him play his game. There's so many things that I see in James games where I'm like, maybe I want to pick at that and look at that. So to be in a room with a guy who's done it, who's been performing at a high level, and he's very vocal with us young guys, very vocal with just everybody in the room of being able to just give us some tips and being confident in ourselves. So, you gotta love that.
And then, Frank Gore Jr. is there. And I know obviously Ty Johnson and Darrington Evans as well. You're there with him. But every time I look at Frank Gore Jr., I think, man, I'm getting old. I watched his dad for so long play, right? Isn't that wild? It was cool to see his dad at the game Monday night when he got to play in his first NFL game as well.
Yeah, I was able to develop a relationship with his dad a little bit during
That's
my
great.
draft process, just kind of getting to know him, and that was a lot of my draft comparisons at the Senior Bowl. So being able to meet him at the Senior Bowl, and I mean, I'm from San Francisco. I grew up watching Frank Gore at
Yeah, that's right.
Candlestick. Almost my entire life watching him at Candlestick with those Niners teams. So to even become, I consider his son as one of my best friends. So to be able to say I'm friends with somebody that I've been watching his dad and get compared to throughout time, I mean. Dang, I mean, it makes me feel old in a way too. But I think it's cool. It's cool to be in a room with somebody who comes from greatness and is soon to be great himself.
Jacob writes in, has Ray ever met or talked to Fred Jackson, a guy who wore number 22 as well for the Buffalo Bills? You know anything about Fred?
Yeah, I know a lot about Fred. Unfortunately, I haven't had the ability to meet him, which I
Okay.
hope I can very soon. But yeah, I know a lot about Fred and what he's done here, and just being able to wear 22 and knowing the history that number has is, I could go out there and just try to continue to be Ray Davis. I can't be Fred Jackson, obviously, but I could try to get something close to it.
So you got a West Coast game this week against Seattle. Is it too far? Like, what do you got? Family and friends? They're going to be making the trip at all? I know you're playing out in LA later in the season, but what about this weekend?
Yeah, yeah. I got some family heading that way. Again, those are kind of the closest
Yep.
opportunities for them to kind of see me. Houston was one, and being able to be in Seattle and LA. So just being able to get a lot of family out there, try to limit, flight expenses and long traveling. Those are the closest ones. So it'd be good to have them out there.
All right, last couple ones. Give me what's on the playlist, pregame playlist. You got the headphones on. You're getting ready. You're in the locker room. What do you got? What do you got rolling?
Yeah, I kind of I kind of treat it hype to mellow. I gotta definitely have my Meek Mill in there from my Philadelphia days. Yeah, there's a lot of rod wave in there just to kind of get you in that mood of calmness and getting yourself to be ready to dominate. But then I do kick it a little bit of old school at Wagon Wheel. You got to get a Wagon Wheel in there.
All right.
One with Darius Ruckers. One of those in there. And then that really gets me in a calm state.
And then finally, you told me that you did your own or have your own podcast of some sort. Tell me all
Yeah.
about this, man. This is how you and I started talking about it. You told me that. It was really cool. Tell me about it.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you. Yep. I had a podcast when I was in high school. I was fortunate to have a radio station in town. I was about right
Love
around the
it.
corner from my high school, and I got to host it every Friday night with one of my good friends at that time, Jack Gump, and we would really just kind of interview a lot of TP alumni, a lot of guys who came back and was very very involved in our school. But he also talked about our school sports, teams and what they were doing, interviewing. It was just kind of a fresh start to kind of learning how things went. And then I also started a podcast when I was at Vanderbilt, just kind of dealing with some issues being in a predominantly, school that I was at, and just trying to figure out the nuances of how to, adjust to life being out of school. That was very new.
Ray, thank you so much for coming on, man. Best of luck this weekend. Continued success. Your rookie season here. You're off to a great start. You've already become a big fan favorite amongst Buffalo Bills fans. And we got to get you some wings over at Sports City sometime. All right, my man?
Will do. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, you got it. That is Ray
Yeah.
Davis. Thanks a lot, Ray. You got
Yep.
it. Ray Davis, Buffalo Bills running back. Very cool for him to join us here on Sal's House Watch Party, the Thursday Night Football Watch Party going on tonight. And it is 7-0 already. The Minnesota Vikings leading the LA Rams. Very cool of Ray to join us here tonight. Ray told me when we started talking about it, and I kind of had the idea of maybe bringing him on the show, and he said, I have my own podcast. I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? And he started telling me all about it. This is why I asked him a little bit about that at the end, and he get a chance to, talk about his own journey, into media. Maybe he's going to be in media. He's got a great voice, by the way. I should have told him that. I'll tell him that when I see him. I could hear and think about and see Ray Davis like hosting some, FM channel late at night on radio, the way he talks. So, he did a great job coming on Sal's House Thursday Night Football Watch Party. The Rams are driving here as well. So we'll have to get some stats. I know, Colin, you can let me know here. I think Puka Nacua, is he playing? And is Cooper Kupp playing? Are they both playing here tonight? We're gonna have to take a look. I'm going to take a look at the stats here today. I think they both are. Colin Ritchie is backstage. He's producing for me. He's going to let me know because I know a lot of you are watching. By the way, we're over 1,700 live viewers right now. We're going to have Vic Carucci come up here in just a little while. Vic Carucci is going to be joining me here on the Sal's House Thursday Night Football Watch Party. And when he does, we're going to talk about his upcoming induction into the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you. That's not me actually commenting. That is Colin, my producer, under the alias of Sal Capaccio or Sal Sports. There we go. Cooper Kupp is active. Both are playing. Thank you, Doug, for letting me know. Trala Bills, thank you very much for letting me know as well. All of you that are in there. But listen, I got to tell you about something coming up. And we're going to talk about this a little bit later, all right? You better pay attention to what I'm about to tell you because it's going to be very cool and you're not going to want to miss it. Coming up, November 1st and 2nd, but especially I'm going to promote the one on November 2nd, but it's 1st and 2nd. TSC Buffalo is having their big show. Now, TSC Buffalo, this is signed memorabilia. This is merchandise. This is going to be at Wings Meeting Place on California near the stadium. And why I'm telling you about this right now and why it's important for you. I'm going to be there doing a live Sal's House show. Okay. I'm going to be giving away signed merchandise and 2 tickets to the Miami Dolphins Bills game that weekend. I'm going to be giving away 2 tickets that weekend to this game, the Bills and Dolphins that weekend during the show. You got to be there to win them, though. So you got to come to Wings Meeting Place on November 2nd, 12 to 1 p.m. is going to be when I'm there. But you're going to see Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas, Keon Coleman, James Lofton, Joe Andreessen, Steve Tasker, James Cook, and even Ray Davis, who we just had on the show a little while ago. They're all going to be there. November 1st, doors open at 4. November 2nd, doors open at 11 a.m. I'm going to be there for a Sal's House watch party that day, giving away 2 tickets to the Dolphins Bills game that weekend. 2 good seats, by the way, lower bowl, and some signed merchandise from TSC Buffalo. And we're going to have Peter on from TSC Buffalo, by the way, as well. In fact, he's right here. Peter's right here. Let me bring him on the show here. Let's bring him on. Can we bring him up, Colin? Let's bring Peter on here if we can bring him in. There we go. Hey, Peter, what's going on, my man?
Hey, Sal, how you doing?
I'm good. We were just talking about your show. I just had your graphic. There you go. Why don't you tell everybody about what's going on? It's great to see you, great to hear from you, and I'm really honored to be a part of your show coming up.
Well, we're really excited to be able to work with you as well and have Sal's House there on Saturday. Yeah, next week at, like you had said, the Wings Meeting Place over on California in Orchard Park. We're bringing in 11 players. Friday, we got Keon Coleman, Shakir, Andre Reed, Lee Evans, and Ray Davis. And then Saturday, we're following it up with Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, James Lofton, Steve Tasker, James Cook, and Buffalo Joe Andreessen. So we're we're excited. We got Queen City Barbecue there both days doing barbecue plates. We have a 4-hour open bar both days for $30 a day, which is a steal. I'm pretty sure Buffalo Bills and Bills Mafia can take care of a $30 4-hour open bar. We got the mascot there too. Billy's going to be there both days. We're giving away free packs of cards and rookie cards for kids both days, and just trying to make it a all-inclusive event, and we're real excited about it. And Sal's House on Saturday, 12 to 1. Giving away all kinds of stuff as well.
Yeah, we're going to be giving away 2 tickets to the Bills-Dolphins game, good seats, lower bowl. We're going to give away some signed merchandise you're providing for Sal's House, and I really appreciate that. But you got to be there to win it. You come by. We'll have different ways to give it away. Maybe some trivia, maybe a raffle, whatever. We're going to be doing some different kinds of things. TSC Buffalo, man, you guys are exploding. You're everywhere. How cool is it for you to be a part of this and to bring these cool events and obviously the merchandise and everything you do to Buffalo fans?
Well, we really appreciate the fan base in Buffalo. This is our 4th season as being the exclusive memorabilia partners of the Bills, and being able to be at the stadium for all the home games, selling merchandise, interacting with the fans on the club level and suite levels through our silent auctions that benefit the Bills Foundation. It's great. It really is. We see that passion. We see that connection, the good and the bad. Sales are affected by the performance just like everything else. And emotions, but we're a proud partner of the team. It's a great fan base. Starting 5-2 is good for everyone, and looking forward to especially that weekend.
Yeah, for sure. The Hall of Famers you're gonna be having, that's pretty crazy. I mean, getting all these guys into one place, it's very cool. And what I've been saying is, if you know anything about, Bills Dolphins rivalry, how cool is it you're having it on that weekend with all those guys who've been a big part of the Bills Dolphins rivalry for so long, but all these new faces as well. I mean, Keon Coleman had a great game last week. I just talked to Ray Davis. It's really cool of you to have these newer guys on it. I'm sure the reception from them has been awesome to be a part of this.
It has. Adding Ray Davis, gave it a real some juice last week after his performance for sure. But I think we got a great mix. Again, as you know, the alumni is always around. They're always connecting with the young guys and the current players, and they have really great relationships between the current and the former. Having Lee Evans there, it's the first time we've seen him in our 4 years in Buffalo, and mixing him with Andre Reed and Keon Coleman and Shakir on the same day. Again, it's got a great feel to it. We've gotten a great response. We think we're going to have a big crowd out there both days, and excited to have you as a partner as well, helping us promote.
All right, let's do it one more time. I want you to kind of tell everybody exactly what's going on November 1st and November 2nd. How can they get tickets? How can they be a part of this event?
Yeah, tscbuffalo.com. All the information is on there. All the ticket options, the photo options to have a photo opportunity with these players. You can bring your own merchandise. You don't have to have anything bought by us, but we'll have stuff there if you'd like, jerseys and photos for you to be able to pick up. And again, there's giveaways with kids. There's Billy to Buffalo there both days. There's food, barbecue plates from Queen City Barbecue, just a little bit of everything there. And Trainwreck Sports is going to be doing some podcasting as well for us Friday. And so again, exciting event. TSCbuffalo.com has all the information. Look forward to seeing Bills Mafia really show out next week.
TSCbuffalo.com. Thanks a lot, Peter. Really looking forward to it. Thanks a lot for having me be a part of the big show coming up November 1st and especially November 2nd when I'll be there bringing Sal's House. Thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate you jumping on tonight.
Thanks, Sal. Go Bills.
All right, you got it. That is Peter Ausiello, and he is at TSC Buffalo, and you can find him at tscbuffalo.com and everything they got going on for the Sal's House watch party. And, of course, I'm going to be there, but you want to see Hall of Famers, right? Speaking of Hall of Famers, by the way, got a special guest welcoming right now. How about my guy, Vic Carucci, joining us right now on Sal's House Thursday Night Football watch party. Vic, what's going on, brother? Good to see you.
All right. Yeah, great to be here, Sal. Absolutely. I know when you extended this invitation right after Sunday's game against I said, absolutely. It sounded like a fun thing. And in fact, I do have the Rams.
I love it.
Down in front of me. Yeah.
So. Well, I have that game on next to me. It's 7-7, so everybody knows the Vikings have the ball. But unfortunately, I also have in front of me Syracuse getting completely demolished by Pitt, 24-0 in the first quarter.
That pick six to start it, buddy. I felt for your Orangemen. And look, that wasn't my school, but I grew up there. Really, the first kind of big time opportunity to cover sports. When you start out, in the modest area of high schools and all this was SU football and Archbold Stadium, that press box. I just remember, and I distinctly remember one game I got to cover, SU and Pitt, and there was a guy named Dan Marino playing quarterback for Pitt.
No doubt about it. They were just, it's funny. ESPN had a all-time Syracuse team versus all-time Pitt team. And you look at these names, right? Of course, McNabb and Marino. I mean, Jim Brown and Floyd Little at Syracuse. And then you go the other way. And you don't even put LaShawn McCoy on because, oh, by the way, you have Curtis Martin and Tony Dorsett in the backfield, right? But boy, I'll tell you though, Vic, I know you've covered the NFL, but just on college football, it's just changed so much. It's hard to kind of follow everything now with the portal and NIL. And I'm not saying, all these things are necessarily wrong, but it's changed so much, so drastically, so quickly.
Yeah, it certainly isn't. I want to say your father's college football, but it's not my college football from the standpoint of era. I am a believer in trying not to, Sal, do the back in my day and it was better then. However, the change of it really has affected how you appreciate it. And I don't know, that is the old school part of me that I just can't get away from, is the joy of watching it. And especially when I became an NFL writer, watching NFL games feels still does, but was when I first started the job, right? That sense of that's work. You're on the sideline. And as much as we're at the game and it's an incredible opportunity to do what we get to do for a living, I always found the ability to watch the college game, primarily on Saturday, of course, as my pleasure time of watching it. I'm not going to say I don't like it, but I don't feel the same about it.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Well, you do cover the NFL. You've been doing it for a long time, and obviously very distinguished NFL career covering the NFL. You're on so many different platforms. What's that been like for you? And of course, you've been doing radio a long time. You've been on Sirius for quite a while. It's not like you just ventured into this. You're on TV, obviously, on Channel 2 a lot. Our buddy John Scott, WGRZ TV 2. You came up as a writer. I remember reading you. Sorry, but I remember reading you when I was delivering papers when I was in high school. But what has it been like for you to kind of navigate all the different media spaces in your life?
Yeah, it's really something when I think about it, and yeah, I've probably done a lot more reflecting on it, especially these last several months than ever. I come to this realization that it is about adapting and changing, like so many other professions. But when I started out, remember the first thing you do as a kid, you're playing the games, right? And I grew up in that neighborhood where you're morning to night. At least in the summer months, whatever school vacations, some kind of ball we're playing. And then if it was too cold or whatever, then as indoor hockey, we called it garage hockey. And we incorporated stats. We were ahead of analytics way back in the day. But it was the thing, and there were two of us, my friend Joe and myself. Joe was like our backyards butted up against each other. We were the phone tree guys too. We were in charge of calling everybody else together, and so it was in my blood to just love the games, and then doing trading cards and doing everything else that you did as a kid, but. What do you want to be at that age? You want to be a player. You want to, when I was idolizing athletes, and in my case, this is going to sound strange, growing up in central New York, again, Syracuse territory, you could call it Bills territory. It certainly is now, but back in the day, back in the, let's say the 60s, it was for me, late 60s, especially, the team was the Rams, the LA Rams. Wow. I wanted to be a contrarian. My friends were Giants fans. Some were Jets fans, not a lot. I don't know. I didn't know any Bills fans as a kid in that area, but I loved the Rams, and they were the kind of that national 4:00 game coming from LA on CBS. And my family, my parents and my brother at the time were not sports. It wasn't a sports oriented family. My dad didn't quite see the logic in the games, and kind of thought more about that's something where, he would talk about getting hurt and all these other things that, that ran contrary to how I felt about it. I said, no, Dad, this is the greatest thing in the world. And if I came home with cuts and tears and a broken arm once because we played, no pads and fell on rocks and all that, while he didn't love that, I guess he understood my passion. And then the games, watching those games, being on the living room floor with a stopwatch to time punts in the air with my charts. I was that kid at watching these Rams games and other NFL games, and different color pencils and pens. And my mother, God bless her, who's still with us, 95 years old, she planned meals, our Sunday meals, around the games for my sake. And fortunately, my dad and my older brother went along with it. Well, as time fast forward, and when I got into this, they became the fans, and my brother is an avid Bills fan, living in the Syracuse area. He's in radio, music radio. My mom puts on her Bills sweatshirt to this day. My dad, who's passed, but he was into it and into college sports, all of it. And this transformation was incredible, and it happened right before my eyes. But I wanted to be close to it. So player, nah. I knew I didn't have that skill. Coaching was a real thought. And then when I didn't really see the clear path with that, it was writing, because there wasn't sports talk radio. Right. There was no ESPN, and I newspaper writers, and those were and then I just started to just take in every word of the local paper, of the New York papers, all the things that were available. And Dick Young was a popular columnist back in the day, and all the other New York sports writers. And I just said, that's me. I could, this is what I want to do. Had no clue what it involved. And fortunately, there were some English teachers who, kind of saw that dream, and also said, Victor, you better clean up your act when it comes to your to English classes, to writing, get better grades. That's how you get on the student newspaper. I think you had to have a B average minimum, and it all worked out.
By the way, Trent Sherfield, former Bill, just caught a touchdown pass a little while ago. So the Vikings have a 14-7 lead over the Rams here on the Thursday Night Football watch party. Vic, you are going to be inducted into the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations. It's a super incredible honor. I'm going to show on the screen here the class you're going in with. I mean, some terrific people there. Kevin Cadle, Norm Foster, Warren Gelman, Rob Gronkowski, Rick Lancelotti, Dr. Bridget Nyland, Richard Brooks Orpik, Cecilia Owens or Cecil Owens. I apologize if I say her name wrong.
Cecilia,
thank you. Walt Stefani, longtime volleyball coach here. Yep. Ed Van Tyne and Paul Whalen. Maybe you could just look at that, not necessarily have to go through every one of them, but just a couple of people here that, strike you as part of your class.
Well, I mean, they all do. And I'm so honored to be with them. I know of if I wasn't already up to speed, I made sure I was from the moment I found out I was going to be part of this 2024 class. And there's such accomplished people, passionate people in everything they did, and the careers that they've had in sports. And, the way I look upon this, frankly, and I'll insert one thing, Rob Gronkowski is someone that there's a special connection there, because he went to school with most of school, junior high, grammar school, junior high, and part of high school with my younger daughter, Lindsay, in the Williamsville district, and up through Williamsville North. And he was here. He was at this house. He was in this room, this office, many a time, because Lindsay would say, the first, I think I forget, it was a birthday party or something, and he was in 8th grade, and he was already this much taller than me. And Lindsay said, Dad, show Rob your, this stuff, the memorabilia, and see, he might like that. And he stared at it and as kind of was doing this, and he goes, Mr. Carucci, one of these days you're going to write a paper about me. And he was, and I was like, you know what, Rob, I have no doubt, because by that point I'd seen him play a lot of sports.
Yeah.
And he had that thing. And I know it's something that he to this day believes. He told me, after, fast forward to a New England game, and said, you believed in me. who didn't believe in you? I mean, you were the guy, you were the man. So I don't think there was ever, you weren't a long shot in any way, brother. But anyway, I do love that connection. We texted when we both found out about our induction. But here's the other thing, Sal, I need to mention. There aren't many media types in the hall. There are others and mentors of mine, the great Larry Felser, Van Miller, Rick Azar. I think of those people and how important they were, especially Larry and Van, in mentoring me and showing me the path that this communicating about sports in a town where the Bills are they aren't a topic. They are the topic. I know the Sabres are also very important, but there's nothing we know like the Bills in this town. And my appreciation of how you communicate expanded. You said, okay, how you evolve. Yeah, TV, radio, all those things came here. I mean, people were giving me those opportunities. Bob Kaczynski with Empire Sports Network, John Murphy with radio at BEN. We had shows, and it started to dawn on me. This is bigger than just the writing. The stories is great, and I owe so much to that, to the Buffalo News, for the opportunity to hire me in 1982. My wife and I arrived in the middle of a blizzard. Of course, didn't know if we were in the Buffalo News parking lot when we pulled in, or somewhere on Scott Street, or I didn't know where we were. Maybe we were still on the 190. Right. So anyway, life was, from that point on, something extraordinary. And I look at this Hall of Fame and I see these names. I know I'm not saying this. This is not fake humble. I know. I wonder about my worthiness. I know that it's great to be there, but I did think this thought. That who do we cover, Sal? We cover the participants. Who are we? We are the observers, and that's the part that I've had to just kind of get straight in my mind, that wrap my head around the fact that,
because you're taught never to be the story, and in this case, you're becoming the story.
Thank you. That's what it is. Right? And you become, and you never, it's like it was like part of the sacred life of what we do. Right. You learned that in J school. I did in Utica. And it was always the theme. You're not the story. You are telling the story, and be the best storyteller you can be.
Well, you are part of the story here. You're going to be part of the story. And by the way, what's interesting is I'm on the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame Media Advisory Committee, as you are, and we have our luncheon every year, and we go there. Yep. And like, you literally had to be kicked out of the room to be talked about. Okay, so I mean, was that awkward for you?
Yes, I'd be lying if I said it didn't feel a little strange. Yeah, you got to go now, because we're going to talk about you. And part of me said, yeah. Part of what you might say is, are you kidding me? This guy. No. But no, I think those are. I love. I've always loved and been honored to be included by the board of directors, and with you. And I know so many others who are in that room, Mark Gaughan, Mike Harrington, just people who are so respected at what they do. And they want to hear the thoughts from who? From the people who cover the people that they're considering putting in. So I know a lot. That's the other part of this. When you're a part, when you get the nod to be in it, and I'm not sure how many others, because there's only a certain number of people that are not only on the board, but like you said, in this advisory committee, appreciate the depth of detail that goes into the choosing. Amazing. And I say to myself, man, now I also am a voter for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, have been for going on more than a dozen years. And that's a cherished role. It's also for me, a very difficult role, because you're changing lives. You're going to, the night before our meeting, which is usually right before the Super Bowl, is the worst night of sleep of my life, because I know there will be, 6 or 7 or 8 or 10, whatever, very happy, transformed people. And then there are going to be a whole bunch whose hearts are broken, whose families are devastated because they didn't make the cut.
No doubt about it, Vic. I want to show everybody here, if they want to attend, what's going on. There it is, the 34th annual induction ceremony and dinner. That is Tuesday, November 12th. It's at the Buffalo Convention Center. The Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. You can go online, check out, tickets and things like that. I know we do some stuff here at WGR and interviews and show up with the Bulldog are generally out there, but it's going to be an awesome night. It's going to be, how many people you got going? You got a big table, a couple big tables. What do you got?
It's funny you should ask. Well, first of all, the thing that where I am the most blessed in my life is my family. And I know that's not a new thing for you or anyone else to say, but I have, with my wife Rhonda, with my daughters Kristen, Lindsay, they have taken charge of that whole aspect of table assignments and getting the tables and letting the audit, because we do have a bunch of, we're not originally from Buffalo, so we have a lot of family from that central New York area and friends who are attending, and then of course the locals and our neighbors who in this particular neighborhood, it's become like a family. You wouldn't believe it how many. It's like 6 families that have hung out together. I'm going to say now for going on 25 years, at least, maybe more, all met through the wives, but now the wives are on a vacation of their own out west. But we stick together and they're supportive. But yes, the hall does a great job of communicating our wants and needs for, like you say, those tables. Once people go online and buy those tickets, we send out all the information, and I want to say I think it's upwards of 5 tables of 10, so it's like in the 50-ish. Yeah,
that's amazing. Vic, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Best have a great night that night. It's going to be amazing. I really appreciate it. And we've known each other a long time. I'm so glad and honored to be able to kind of share a media room with you, and know you and be a part of everything that we do together as somebody who followed you, read you, and now just to kind of talk sports with you, right? Sometimes I pinch myself, just some of the people I get to talk sports with, and you're one of them. So thank you.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. And Sal, I can't say enough about the work you've done and how you've built what you've done here, and the following and the fan base and how they appreciate it. And look, dude, when I'm up in that press box, and I know whatever the weather is, Sal Claudio's down there. I say the same thing about Jonathan Acosta, our shooter from Channel 2, that you guys have the tough, and that could be blazing sun, or it could be quite the opposite.
It could be my snow goggles during the Blizzard game,
right? Snow goggles here. I see you come in.
Right.
One of the first things I do when you walk into that media interview room is I look you over. I says, "My buddy, okay, his face is red. He's got all ice on his face." But the thing is, why do you do it? Why do we do it? Okay, it's a job, but it's got to be more than that. I mean, it's got to be more than that. And honestly, it sounds like a cliche, but the people in this community do appreciate it. I'm sure you get this all the time, because I know I do. It's the thank yous. Yeah. It's like, okay, basically what they're saying, Sal, is what? Thank you for doing your job. But the job to them is you're bringing us closer. You're the conduit between the team and them and the fans. And you know what? I love that. That's a great role. I don't necessarily go into the job thinking that's what we're doing, because like you said, the training we had, J School, be objective, all of these things. But this is fandom. This is what we're feeding, the frenzy of this fan base, or we're helping to. And the last thought I'll share with you.
Yeah.
When I expressed some kind of like whatever, some apprehension when I within the first 24 hours of finding out about the hall, one of the people I'm on the phone with was Bill Polian, who of course is, in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He and I collaborated on a couple of books, and he's in this hall, this Greater Buffalo Hall. And I said to him, Bill, I don't know, man. I mean, should I be bumping elbows with you in this thing? And he said, listen, and he goes, I mean this sincerely. He goes, there are 3 parts to this game. Football, of course, which encompasses players, coaches, ownership, all the things that are football. Fans, the fan base, That's the second part. The third part is the media. And without that, without the fans, you're not what we know as this game and love doesn't exist. And he said that very matter of factly. And I said, as simple as that sounds, it made me feel really good to hear that.
Listen, we'll be watching on Channel 2, listen for you on Sirius XM NFL Radio, and reading you wherever you pop up. So thank you very much once again. And look at this. We have close to 2,400 live viewers right now, by the way.
Oh, that's folks, I appreciate it. Oh, if you're enjoying this, thank you, and continue to support my buddy here, Sal, watching this watch party show.
All right. Thanks a lot, Vic. And I'll see you this weekend.
See you, brother.
All right. You got it. That is Vic Carucci, longtime and legendary NFL beat reporter, analyzer, and analyst, Buffalo News, Sirius XM NFL Radio. He's been everywhere, right? All right. We've gone a little late tonight, but it was well worth it. Thank you so much to Ray Davis. Thank you so much to Vic Carucci, Pete Ausiello. Can't wait. One more time. Do not forget, I am going to be out at the TSC Big Show on November 2nd. The show is the 1st and the 2nd. And on the 2nd, I'm doing one of these live shows. You got to be there, because I'm going to be up on a stage. I'm going to be talking. I'm going to be giving away merchandise, signed stuff, and 2 tickets to see the Dolphins at the Bills on Sunday, November 3rd. You're not going to want to miss it. 2 lower level tickets. Somebody's going to win out there. I mean, a lot of people want to win. They're not going to win, but it doesn't matter. We're going to have a great time no matter what. They got food and drinks, and Billy Buffalo's going to be there, and all these different players. Can't thank them enough for having me. Can't thank Sports City Pizza Pub, Sports City Grill, and it is 1407 Niagara Street in Buffalo. Can't thank them enough as well. And of course, Buffalo, buffalogo.com. So thanks to everybody for making this watch party a success tonight. 2,400 viewers. Colin, thank you for joining me as well, as you always do. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for keeping everybody updated. What's the score in the game here? 14-7. All right. What we got there? 14-7.
Yeah, we've got 14-7. Rams are inside the 10-yard line. Matthew Stafford just threw a touchdown to Cooper Kupp, literally as I'm talking. So Rams tied up with the extra point, 14-14.
All right, Colin, thanks a lot. Always appreciate you helping out on Sal's House Thursday Night Football Watch Party. Too bad my Syracuse Orange couldn't get it done tonight. It's not looking very good for them. Till next time, everybody, thank you very much one more time for watching it. Come back next week. We'll have a couple more guests, and then stay tuned for all the other great things we got going on. Thanks for watching.